Hi, this is Laura, and welcome to week 6 of our course. This is our last week, and the last video here I'm going to do is just slightly different rather than give you an overview of all the various topics, since we're pretty much going to be doing design case studies. I'm just going to go over what you need to work on, give you a brief overview of a design case study, and go through the assignments that will wrap up our time together. And just wanted to express my appreciation for your good work, your timeliness, and your excellent feedback to one another throughout the course on your prototypes and your various activities. So as you get into week 6, you'll see you have in module 6 the week overview, and as I mentioned, what we're going to be working on are these concepts called design case studies. And so essentially what this is a reflection, if you will, and a showcasing of the design challenge, prototype, and the concepts that you've been putting together during these last few weeks. And so as you've seen through the course, we've spent time each week on the principles of user experience design, the principles of user interface design, and user experience design in practice. And so this week we will really be spending our time on the significance of design case studies, how to create a design case study, and then giving you samples of design case studies. And you will have various activities that will allow you to develop your own case study to showcase your experience here in the course, and possibly you'll use it, hopefully you will, going forward in your profession and practice. And so we'll have readings and resources, this individual assignment that I mentioned as your case study. You'll have a whole class discussion that you'll share your case study and use a particular form of feedback called I like, I wish, what if. And then you'll have some time to reflect on your experience in this course and give me some feedback, and I appreciate that very much. So as you get into then the learning materials and resources, you're going to see that you're going to spend some time on what is a UX UI case study. We'll go back in just a moment and I'll share that with you, how to create a case study, and then various examples of what they are and some optional readings. I'll go into this first website, the what is a UX case study, and there is a nice video here you may want to watch. But essentially a case study is an example of your design work. So it makes sense where we are right now in our coursework that you have at least a couple rounds of feedback on your prototype, that you might start to reflect on the design thinking process that you went through to come up with your challenge, with your various end users or audience, your empathic perspectives of your end users, and then you did some ideation, you did a prototype, and then been going back and forth on testing. So now this design case study will allow you to share kind of the process you went through. So this is a really good website. You'll recognize some of the information from the early part of our time together on Aristotle's storytelling elements. As you think through your design case study, you will want to focus a little bit back on what you originally thought of. And then there is some parts that, as you will write up your own, that to really think through the introduction, the middle, and the conclusion, which are the final results. But this was the introduction would be your challenge, the middle is the design process and the techniques you used, and then the final results would be where you landed on your prototype and how you're reflecting on that. And so there's other ways you can think through this. Here are some other examples. Gustav Freytag's 5-part pyramid. This is a good example, and you can read through all of this. And then this is a nice picture of the 5-part dramatic structure of the pyramid, where this is kind of the early part of your project, how you kind of came to the climax of the project, and how it resolved in terms of the design. So just keep those things in mind as you go through your various resources here. All of these are good resources, but this one on how to create the perfect structure for a case study is also quite good. It mentions in here prototyping, but it gives you this idea about the importance of storytelling, because the idea behind these case studies studies is that you might want to share it out on your professional portfolio. And so the more you can tell a story about what you are in fact doing with your design, the more that it will draw people to you, and you will get a reputation for the quality of work you do in design. So here's a quick picture of that as well. And then some examples. You'll see there's quite a few examples of design case studies. I'll just click on one here to show you, but this might help if you look at it, is to see some of the case studies that people have done and how they went through it. Here's the introduction, the middle, and conclusion, but here's a website, and then you can actually go through and read through it and see the full case study. And there's a number of really good ones here that will give you some idea. Now, keep in mind that what I'm going to be asking you to do is not put it all out on a website right now. So don't worry, that's not what you're being asked to do. There is a little element of our, an optional element of our individual assignment and our whole class assignment if you'd like to put it out on something called Wix or a website. What you've done with your case study, you're welcome to, but you're not required to. You're really just going to be doing more of a reflection. So take a look at these readings and resources. And then, as I mentioned, here's your individual assignment, which is a case study. Please make sure you read the instructions that you're going to create a case study, which is pretty much in writing with a few pictures of your prototype, but you will be addressing each of these areas. And please, as I noted here, to include these as headers in your paper. And it really shouldn't be more than 2 pages. It's not a research paper. It's really for you to kind of have free thought about what you did and just to be somewhat succinct in sharing that. Because again, remember, if you were to share it out on a website, people would only read so much, and they might want to see a few pictures that would enhance your case study. And you do not have to share your entire prototype, just something brief that gives us a sense of what you did. And then here is where I mentioned there's an optional item to embed your case study in a professional portfolio by using a free website such as Wix. If you do not know how to do that, don't bother, or you can reach out to me during the week if you'd like, and I'm happy to help you. But this was just for you to be thinking about a way you might showcase your work. And then you will submit your case study here, and then here is the rubric. Then you will go on and you will submit your case study also to the entire class. That would be to this discussion group. And then you'll be giving peer feedback to one another using this I like, I wish, what if feedback. And there's some examples here of how that would work. And it's really just a form of giving some positive praise, giving some constructive feedback, and then also thinking about possibilities that perhaps someone hadn't thought about for their case study. And then lastly, you will have an opportunity here to give me feedback about this course. I recognize there are limitations using a standard tool like Canvas, so I did try to make this course as engaging as possible, but I can still learn. So please feel free to share in that same I like, I wish, what if format if that is comfortable for you, or just give me straight out feedback about the class. And then that will be pretty much it, except for there is a Qualtrics. If you go into the modules, there is also a Qualtrics, I'm going to scroll down quickly there, optional Qualtrics survey if you are willing to do that and give me and the program folks more concise feedback that they are looking for. I have really enjoyed being your instructor and facilitator and have enjoyed this course, and I hope that you are doing well and will continue to expand your user experience and user interface and design work. Best wishes to you.